Classic League Podcast time! Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 270 of the Classic Elite Podcast. My name is Scott. I've got Dustin with me. Dustin, what's going on, man?
Not much. Same old. Did my taxes.
Oh, just in the nick of time.
Yeah. Kim was like, hey, we should do our taxes. And I was like, yeah, we should. And there was like 4 or 5 weekends in a row where we were like, oh, we'll do it this weekend. We'll do it this weekend. Man. I
have relatively simple taxes, so I got mine done in March when I did our LLC taxes as well. Which the Classic Elite taxes were a billion times easier than my personal taxes.
Yeah.
So, New Orleans is an awesome place, and I feel like I should say I did not go for WrestleMania. I don't know why I'd be embarrassed if I did, but I feel like I need to put that disclaimer out there. It was WrestleMania fever while I was down there, though. You saw a lot of it. We didn't spend much time on Bourbon Street at all, but I got there 6-7 hours before my buddy did. So to kill time, I wandered down to the French Quarter. I didn't realize specifically where I was. I was just kind of wandering around. Eventually stumbled into a place that looked like they had food and drink. So got a beer, ordered some food, and it was good. And then realized I was on Bourbon Street. And it's like I always hear, never eat on Bourbon Street. Didn't get sick, so big thumbs up there.
All right.
But New Orleans is amazing. Anybody that lives there or has been there, it's really wonderful. We saw a Tree of Life next to the zoo. I walked along the Mississippi for a few miles. Saw some amazing music. Ate some pretty good food. Gambled only a little bit. So yeah, it was good. It's a good time. But before we get to video game talk, did you get up to anything since we last podcasted? It's been a couple weeks since we talked.
Not really. I don't think so.
Okay, well, I guess we'll move on from vacation talk then.
Was everything wet in New Orleans?
In the morning, yeah. No, in New Orleans, no. On Bourbon Street, yes.
Yes. Okay. They just spray all the crap off the sidewalk into the street.
Yeah. Luckily, I was there for an Easter parade, so I got to see some of the hoopla that goes around Bourbon Street. But there was a street called Frenchman that had just amazing music and cool bars to go to. There was a really long street called Magazine Street that had a bunch of places. We saw a lot of New Orleans. We would find a place to go eat or get a drink or something, and then would just wander until we found another spot to stop. So did a lot of exploring. I got crazy blisters on my feet, but yeah. That's good. I'm getting ready for golf season. I walk and I play, so good to get that out of the way. Yeah, it was cool. I did not go to your Jimmy J's place with the bacon Bloody Marys.
Yeah,
but we did go to a place.
Thought for the best.
So we went to. It was kind of like it was pretty hipstery, like a little fancy schmancy.
Mm-hmm.
But they were rated as having really good Bloody Marys. So we're like, well, let's go get a Bloody Mary. She poured the shots in like a glass, and then it was a make it yourself. It was like an ice cream social bar. So you would go and put in your own like drink or your own mix and your own like bacon or olives or whatever the hell you want to put in there.
Yeah.
We were like, this is bullshit. Like, how about you do what you're supposed to do if I order a drink?
It's the open world equivalent of a drink.
Like, we had a lot of fun making jokes the rest of the time related to that.
Did you call it the Skyrim?
That would have been
to make your own.
No,
that would have been awesome.
Make your own fun. Is that what you mean? Yeah. That would have been amazing. I probably would have proposed to her like on the spot. Like, I know you're not doing your job as a bartender. You're making me make your drink, but a Skyrim reference, whatever you want, sweetheart. I will. I'll do my best to provide. But it was overall a really cool place. So big thumbs up to New Orleans. I cannot wait to go back. It was also really inexpensive. I spent flights, all food, all drink, hotel for a week, less than $1,000, and that was eating out everywhere, taking lifts all the time.
Man, man,
yeah,
hold on,
nice and cheap, and in April here it was really nice. So, all right, man. Well, I guess I won't harp on it too much. I could talk about New Orleans a whole lot. So, let's talk about some video games. I'm sure people would rather hear about that than touristy stuff. Like, I always get annoyed when people bust out pictures to show me, like, their trip. I'm like, I don't...
Yeah.
I do not care.
Yeah. That's why I have Facebook, so I can scroll past those.
See, there are times where Facebook is beneficial, and that would be a great one where I could say, oh, yeah, I saw it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Totally lying. That's nice. So, yeah, I guess to get things going, do want to give a quick shout-out to our buddy Kevin. He bought something through our Amazon affiliate link, so just want to shout out our Amazon affiliate link. If you go to Amazon through the links in the description of our YouTube video or podcast description, and you buy something while you're there, we'll get a small credit for it. It's a way to support the show if you already shop at Amazon and you like us. So, thank you very much, Kevin. That was very thoughtful of you. Yeah, gaming news, man. Let's talk about some Spyro. I did not expect to see this on the show notes. This kind of came out of nowhere.
I mean, I did expect to see it on the show notes because I put it there, but I didn't expect to see the trailer, which dropped for Spyro Reignited Trilogy. It is the remastered original trilogy, and it looks great. But it had like this orchestral soundtrack to it. I didn't hear the original music. I think that's my favorite part of the game. I think that the music makes the game.
Okay. I've never played any of the Spyros. I'm only familiar with it and then was surprised when Skylanders was huge.
Yeah. The first, I haven't played the second. The first one's the only one I played, really. But I love it. It's like one of my favorite PlayStation games.
Was it? Okay, that was PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
They do a great job in the trailer. They show the original footage and then do like a Star Wars swipe left and reveal the updated graphics, and it looks really cool. I agree on the on that front. You know, the video that you had linked, our autoplay sent me to another video where someone was talking to people on the dev team.
Mm-hmm.
They mentioned the choice to go with the original style of the Spyro Dragon character versus, I guess he was maybe changed up a little bit for the Skylander stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm hoping that they will have a toggle for the soundtrack for you. That they will maybe know that people love the original stuff. So I'll keep my fingers crossed for you that that's the case.
Hopefully there's no like weird licensing issues.
You wouldn't think so, but video games get goofy.
Yeah.
Right? For some reason, go ahead.
It was stuff made for the game. It's not like it was, but it was made by Steve Copeland, police drummer.
Stewart.
That's it.
That's right. We've totally talked about this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'm now super interested. Now that this has been brought back to my attention. Man, I believe you on the music front now. Not that you've ever led me wrong. Every time you've told me to check out music, I've been in total agreement.
But yeah, if it's upgraded graphics and the same soundtrack, but it just sounds better, dude, this is no brainer.
Did they have a price for this? Is this going to be a $40 or a $60 release? Do you have any idea?
No, I don't. But I'm thinking 40.
And it's a remaster of 3 games, right? Is it trilogy the first 3? That's cool. Yeah. Also, the PlayStation's starting to reel me back in. I've said that I have been more into my Xbox over the last year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to really want to play God of War. I've never really played a God of War, other than maybe like the first half hour of the PSP game. The first one. Man, it sounds like a really fun combat and an emotional story. I don't know. That sounds pretty great.
Yeah.
And I don't know. He looks like a badass from the little trailer clips I've seen. What are your thoughts on... then I'll get back to the show notes. But God of War, is that on your radar at all now?
No. Man, that's funny because I love the first God of War. Like I played that Actually, I played through that when I was in Iraq. I was in one of the uh, what the hell are they called? USO trailers?
I don't know.
Oh no, MWR. Yeah, MWR trailers that they had. They had like PlayStation 2s. You could get games, and I spent like a whole night just sitting there playing through that game. It was awesome.
So I look at some of the, and you as a dad, you got the little one on the way. You
Yeah,
got Sully that's picking up everything you say like a sponge.
yeah,
You know, it might like really strike a chord with you. It could be a pretty cool game to keep an eye out on. But I'm thinking,
I think you're right. I should keep an eye out for it.
I'm starting to think maybe I'll just get it and pay full price
When's it coming out?
soon. Maybe next week. Maybe Friday. I don't know.
Damn. I'm so out of the loop.
So am I. I saw Brandon Jones from Easy Allies say that he hasn't played the game, but a tear was brought to his eye, and he's just like editing the review.
Man,
I'm like, man, combat looks fun. A good story. Like, I don't know. It's starting to get me hyped.
dude, that's what's up.
Right?
Now I'm hyped.
That was the thing. Like, it kind of came out of nowhere. 2 weeks ago, I was not even considering getting God of War. And all of a sudden now, I'm starting to hear... You know when you listen to gaming podcasts and you hear journalists that are like, I'm under embargo. I can't tell you whether or not I love this game or I think it's just okay.
Right.
Like, they clearly are hinting like, they're like, I want to talk about this so bad, but I can't. And usually when they're chomping at the bit to talk about it, it's because they can't wait to praise it. So I'm reading the tea leaves a little bit there. I could be disappointed, but I don't know. I'm considering getting it. Cool. So, okay. Let's get back to some gaming news. There's a hacker that praises Nintendo's security, specifically on a software standpoint. They're really diligent. He says they're doing a good thing. This is a hacker that is prominent in the homebrew scene. He's not going after piracy. The hacker is Siresm.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
I just skipped it whenever it was in the article.
Of the switched or the re-switched group, which is kind of the hacker group, and he's like, look, from a software standpoint, they do a really good job with security. Their operating system called Horizon is really good. They have another operating system that's potentially going to be coming out, I think, or another process that is going to help further security. But he's like, the console is already compromised because it's based on the NVIDIA architecture. So they're either going to have to do something at the factory level or switch up some hardware potentially to stop people from cracking the system, because emulators you can already load. Like I saw people on Reddit playing PlayStation 1 games on their Switch.
Yeah, that's the first picture in the article is a PlayStation game booting up.
Okay, yes, that's what, yeah. Oh, yeah, there it is. That's cool that Nintendo's good on the security front from a software perspective. I gave him my credit card because I was lazy. I was buying a lot of stuff. So,
whatever. It's probably going to get hacked from like 2 other places too. So.
You know, the experience is going to give it to them just whenever they feel like it. So, you know,
right.
who cares?
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird to hear all this. Do you follow any like hardware news as far as any of the major CPU compromises that's come out from the architecture, the way that AMD and Intel have been doing stuff?
I skimmed over one of the recent things that happened just because it might affect me at the workplace. But
yeah, I mean, but it's like a fundamental flaw.
Yeah.
So, and there's been patching. I know Dumbass will probably correct us on a lot of this stuff. Yeah. But it's crazy that out of the box, like out of the gate, because it's a Tegra chip.
Yeah.
There's nothing that they can do to really stop people. Oh, well,
way to go, NVIDIA.
Well, hey, NVIDIA's doing a lot of good work right now, other than making enough graphics cards. So I'll give them a pass here. Plus, it's also a good sign because eventually when the Switch is dead, I'll hack it and have a little tell myself I'm going to do that. I just like to know that in the future there's an option that I can hack my Switch.
Yeah.
By hack, I mean download a program, press a button, and just let the computer do everything.
Right.
Vepper says, what year were you in Iraq?
Let's see. My first tour was 03 to 04, March 03 to January 04. And I played video games during my second tour, which was 05 to 06. And he asked if I brought any war trophies home, and that was a no-no. So no war trophies.
Well, it's because, I mean, Vepper, you got to understand the PS3 didn't have trophies yet.
Right. Yeah, it was before.
All right, that was a bad joke. Couldn't help it.
I mean, besides the requisite necklace made of ears and, a chalice
of course,
made from the skulls of my enemy, that kind of thing.
I mean, that's a standard issue, basically.
Yeah.
You're not allowed. That's your boarding pass.
You land in Iraq and they put it on you like a lay in Hawaii.
Oh God, that's so gross. So yeah. I don't know, good on Nintendo, I guess. Yeah. But also, that sucks that it's so easily compromised. Hopefully, people just continue to buy stuff. I don't think it's gonna. Piracy doesn't seem to be that big of an issue when it comes to game sales, does it?
No, I don't think for console games.
It really doesn't seem. I mean, even PC. I don't know. Like Steam, they sell so many goddamn games on Steam.
Yeah. Yeah, why would you go try to download something nefarious when you can just buy it for $5?
Yeah, that's it.
Legit.
As much as I'm not a big Apple fan, I am glad that they proved that if you give someone a safe, convenient service, they will pay for digital goods. Mm-hmm. Everyone thought Napster was going to kill everything, and you download that song that's got that skip in it, or it's got some DJ that's talking over it. The Wild West days of MP3 sharing is really fun.
Yeah. Oh man.
So next up, Dustin, they are putting old graphics back in Chrono Trigger.
Yes, the PC version. I think it said that it had a toggle.
Yeah.
That if you want the original graphics, you can just toggle over to them.
And I believe, and I didn't see if they were going to fix any of the scaling problems, and I also didn't. I heard people complain about the interface because it was a mobile port on PC, and the article from Kotaku didn't mention anything related to fixing UI or the graphics that scaled poorly. Because I think that there were some sprites that were misplaced that were hidden well in the Super Nintendo cart on a CRT TV. But in the mobile port and then blown up, it magnified the uglies. So, I don't know. Had you heard anything about that?
I'm assuming that the patch will address it. It'll just be like OG interface with point and click, maybe?
If they do that and give me a one-button save state, I'll put it on the wish list.
Sure.
So it's $5 someday.
If you can just pull something up and play Chrono Trigger, then you'd be an idiot not to.
Right. And granted, I have legal and illegal ways to play it already, but something about keeping it in that Storm or Steam storefront I really, really like. Hey, Ken, good to see you, man. You got Ken Myers joining us. Zarek says the toggle, the graphics thing is amazing in games. He says I've seen games able to do it mid-jump without a frame lost. I think the new Wonder Boy does that. The Dragon, Wonder Boy's Dragon something?
Dragon Trap?
I think that sounds right. The one that just came out within the last year. That can do that.
R-Type Dimensions on Xbox 360 could do it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if Cave Story could do it on the fly, but Cave Story had a lot of different graphics you could choose. Pure Solar had different graphics that you could choose and
cool
different soundtracks. Which
I need to play that sometime.
If I'm never gonna get my game from them, am I, Dustin?
Oh,
I think it's been 6 years since I pre-ordered one of the games, and in August it'll be 6 years for another. Paprium.
Paprium, that was it.
I'm never getting it.
It'll happen. People didn't think Pure Solar was going to happen.
They did send out a slight update, which doesn't really mean much. But if I ever get it, maybe I should just try to be the first one with a video on YouTube and then just put it on eBay and be like, fuck this. I'm out. No, if I like it, I should probably love it and keep it. I wouldn't be still holding on to Pure Solar if I didn't, if I really hated them.
Yeah.
I'd get rid of that. Yeah, I have like one of the first 800 prints, like that very first run.
Yeah,
like
OG Pure Solar.
Like, it's very hard to find on eBay. It's rarely on there. Usually it's the blue second run that you get. Zarek says the Wonder Boy game is a bit more amazing than that. He says if you press a button, it slides into the newer or old graphics. If you continue to spam the button long, it starts to slow down. I wonder if like, the translation slows down or the game does. I keep being really tempted to buy that. It just looks fun. It just looks like my kind of platformer.
Yeah.
He says, it slows down. He says until it eventually stops, so that part of the screen is old graphics and new graphics at the same time. Ooh, I love the idea of blended graphics like that. I think Pure Solar had a little granularity that way too, but I don't quite remember. It's been a while since I played, and that's the PC port. Of course, the real cart's just you get what you get.
Oh, you can see I don't know if it's cut off, but right there, Pure Solar.
Yes, I can. Oh, I can. Yes, I actually can.
Second revision cartridge for the Sega. And then there's the Dreamcast version, and then there's the soundtrack. All of them still sealed up.
The pink tape, the watermelon tape, is what I can see on the corner of that that first cart. Vepper says, "What's your MOS?" Sorry, not much of a gamer these days, so I can't contribute much there. What's MOS?
Military occupational specialty. It's your job in the military. I was 11 Bravo.
11 Bravo. LB.
Linebacker. No. Infantry.
Infantry, okay. Scary shit.
Yeah.
He says, unless I talk about what Zarek did today, you're welcome to do that. So yeah, Chrono Trigger, graphical fix. Keep our fingers crossed for some UI fixes, potentially, if you had some issues there. Or maybe I'm totally off base and I'm just spitting lies here. I don't know. I just feel like I heard it in passing. So I have no sources on the UI complaints and the graphic scaling. Next up, Radical Heights is a new game coming from Cliffy B. Crap.
Commander Keen.
Boss Key. Boss Key is the name of the studio. They shut down that Lawbreakers game, which looked quite fun, but no one was playing. That was the only thing in the news about it, was no one was playing it. And this Radical Heights game is like a Smash TV, or maybe like Running Man style, like a live TV show battle royale game.
Yeah.
So in full disclosure, I am rooting heavily for Cliffy B. His wife was really nice and came onto our podcast. And the first year, we had
all right.
I forget what her name is now. It's Lauren Blazinski's her name. But Leet Lauren, she was like one of the OG, like pretty gamer girls. But she is legitimately really good. But yeah, she was like our featured guest for our 50th episode, and that was a really fun guest to have on, which is cool.
That's awesome.
Like, holy shit. Yeah, so I am very biased. Even though I'm not the biggest Cliffy B fan specifically, like I'm not a big Gears guy, and I didn't play Lawbreakers. I root for them to do really well.
Yeah.
But an 80s themed movie style battle royale, Dustin, can that get you into the genre?
No. I don't have the time to play it.
I think do you know much about the controversy or anything?
No.
I shouldn't say controversy, but so it's only been in development for 5 months, so it is very early access, they call it, and it is available on Steam in early access. It may be invite only, I don't know. Maybe it's open. I believe it's probably open because it's battle royale. They need as many people as possible. But because of that, it's unfinished, and they're 5 months in. I guess it feels like a 5 month game. It's playable, according to the Giant Bomb guys, but they're taking money early. You can buy all these packs, and it's very easy very early in the game, very early access. And taking money as early access is a bit taboo. I don't know. Some companies come out okay with it, but it always bothers people a bit.
Yeah.
Let's get a third battle royale out there. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
I love the premise, like just that kind of world. I like Fortnite more than PUBG from that perspective, so I like the goofier theme or aesthetic or whatnot.
I like references.
So hopefully there'll be lots of cool. Hopefully they have. Yeah, I want it to be like the no copyright, so that everything is skewed, so it's safe for them to legally use, but it's referencing a million things.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess they're gonna leave the Lawbreakers servers up. So the few people that are playing, if you've bought the game or whatnot, you can still play it. But I guess they've ceased development on it, so they can start working on this new game. It's weird, I guess, to jump into a different genre. It's a bad look, but it doesn't mean it can't be overcome. I mean, Fortnite looked like a bullshit Bush League move when they launched, and now they've got the world by the ass.
Yeah. Sound like the guy from Dawn of the Dead. We got this, man. We got this by the ass.
I don't think I've seen Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, so good.
Is that one of the ashes in one of those? Is that right? Is that one of the...
That's
Evil Dead. Evil Dead.
Yeah, you're thinking Evil Dead.
Dawn of the Dead's a Romero one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And right. Color?
Yep.
Okay.
That was the first Color one.
Okay. All right. Well, close-ish. Not enough to get points in trivia, but enough to pretend it was on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, I don't know. Good luck to them, I guess, is all I can say. The more the better when it comes to a genre multiplayer game like this. Just keeps people from getting price gouged, and also you can see a lot of cool gaming innovation from it. Different modes that people try. You never know what's going to catch on, which is definitely cool. Zarek says there were already more than 3 before the game released, which is why everybody thinks PUBG invented the Battle Royale. PUBG doesn't have a single original gameplay mechanic. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like Nirvana wasn't the first grunge band out of Seattle, but they were the first to make it big. So everyone calls them kind of the first grunge band. It's like that. I see Zarek with his kitty glasses going, well, actually, guys.
Nirvana was the Resident Evil of grunge bands.
Yeah, bam, that's a good reference. Popularized the genre. Vepper says that Zarek should start playing Fortnite. He's just saying. I'd tune in. I'd watch some of that. He says they weren't the first to make it big. I don't know. They're the first to catch the zeitgeist, in my opinion. I can't think of another one, and I'm sure that you can come up with other... I know there have been other Battle Royale games, but this one caught fire for whatever reason, you know?
Yeah. I think it's because it was called PUBG.
Yeah, boy, even despite the name, they really came out.
Right?
It's impressive. So, well, I think that's going to be it for news. It's kind of light this week. As far as gaming stuff is concerned. So, Zarek says H1Z1 was big. Yeah, I know. Is that truly the same? Is it? I don't know. I never played H1Z1. I'd heard of that. I don't know. I'm not gonna argue with Zarek. I didn't know there was Battle Royale in H1Z1.
I don't know.
I don't know.
All those Arma mods blend together for me.
That's the thing. I don't know. Is that where they had the naked dudes running around? Is that part of the H1Z1? You remember?
Was that?
There was like the No Pants Club or something. No, that was Rust.
Yeah, Rust.
That was it.
Rust. Man, I forgot about that.
I think we talked about that when we had Michelangelo on.
That sounds like
how long ago it was. Maybe someday he'll start posting YouTube videos again.
I hope he's doing all right. I'm sure he is.
I see him on Twitter and he got engaged.
Hey, all right, cool.
Or is married. I don't know. He seems to be doing fine. So yeah, I guess, Dustin, that's it for the news and whatnot. So let's talk about the YouTube channel of the week.
Channel of the week. Week. I picked Quentin Reviews.
This guy's been blowing up. In my personal YouTube channel, he got recommended.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but now I would like you to talk about what you've got here, because I'm actually a little confused on the drama.
So apparently, okay, yeah, wow, this is a deep hole.
A previous YouTube channel of the week, by the way, this is one of my picks. I had Channel Awesome one time. I talked about Doug Walker on one of.
Oh right,
yeah,
you did, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
So,
which I still like those videos, but yeah, I guess we'll talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, apparently there's a Google Doc going around of old producers who used to work for Channel Awesome talking about how it sucked and Channel Awesome was terrible and everybody who worked there was terrible. Like Mike Machad and Doug Walker, Rob Walker, and Ellis. Somebody last name Ellis? I can't remember.
Lindsay, she was the nostalgia chick. But I thought she was one of the people contributing to the document.
Yes, she did, but I think there was a guy named Ellis too.
Oh, is there?
Unrelated to her.
Oh, okay.
Who, I don't know. Yeah, he was doing some nefarious stuff. But right now all throughout YouTube, there's a kind of a change to channel. People not wanting other people to watch Channel Awesome stuff, or just at least bring this to light.
Like they didn't release a Nostalgia Critic today, and they always. I usually watch a Nostalgia Critic review while I'm eating dinner on podcast recording days. It's just part of the routine.
Yeah,
and there wasn't one to watch today.
Oh man! So in response to that, Channel Awesome did release an apology that was very poorly worded. People have reacted to that, but Quentin Reviews has a series called Fallen Titans, where he goes through YouTube personalities at kind of at their pinnacle and now at their nadir as they've kind of gone by the wayside, and it's called Fallen Titans. And Channel Awesome is Fallen Titans number 3.
At their nadir is the name of my prog rock band.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. I'd listen to that. Oh, you know what I did not do? I did not put a single bit of the news in the chat this whole time. So, sorry, guys. That's fine. We were descriptive enough that you got the gist of it.
That's right.
But yeah, I started with that.
Or go to our website. Video. I will have the show notes.
Yeah, do that. I started with the Channel Awesome video, and he reviews other stuff too. Like he reviewed. I watched part 1 of Ouija board movies, and the first one he did was Ouija from 2014.
Yeah,
it's a terrible movie.
Okay,
terrible movie, and he goes on not only about how dumb the movie is, but like how he thinks Ouija boards are stupid. Like, well, no, I won't spoil it. It's a funny video. You should go watch it. Yeah, Quentin Reviews.
Cool. Yeah, I like it's bad. It's human nature, though. These people on YouTube that take extensive measures to outline the downfall of somebody,
right?
It's entertaining to watch. Yeah, Fallen Titan series and Channel Awesome. I will definitely check that out, because it's been hard to kind of parse together, because there's always been a lot of drama around Channel Awesome, and I've heard a lot of these things before, but to see it all in a single document's rough. And I hadn't heard about an apology that didn't ring real well. Yeah, the one of their actors, Malcolm Ray, put a message on Twitter that's like, "Hey, I didn't see any of that. I'm treated well." He's one of my favorites. I think that guy has a chance to break it big. Legitimately get. He does such good character acting work. His Morgan Freeman's amazing. I don't know. He's awesome.
He seems like a cool dude.
He also seems like he'd be really fun to hang out with. So on one hand, maybe they've learned. Maybe they've. Yes, all these grievances have happened. I just keep my fingers crossed that the channel doesn't completely go away because, despite even if you have an issue with Rob or Doug or Mike or whatever, there are other people that are employed there, so you don't want the whole thing to necessarily burn down, especially if they have made some sort of improvement in that work process and whatnot. I don't know, but I'm kind of talking out of my ass. I'm hoping that that's kind of the case. But I guess hearing from him that he thinks things are okay now and he hasn't experienced any of the stuff that others had is hopefully a sign to keep my fingers crossed. I'd be really disappointed. I love their skits. I know that I'm not an old school fan, though. Did you watch that guy with the glasses or go to that site back in the day?
Yeah, I used to love that guy.
See, I went to this. I was familiar with all of them, but on the YouTube basis.
Yeah.
I didn't go there for the stuff.
I used to love Nostalgia Critic when he did things that you could actually have nostalgia for and not contemporary.
Fair.
Stuff.
That's fair. But at some point, you just got to say, fine, review whatever, dude.
Hey, I haven't seen a review for Angus.
True. Where's his Surf Ninjas? Where's his Angus? Yeah. Probably because he watched Angus and was like, how am I going to make a whole video out of this? This is perfect cinema.
That was going to be his swan song. That would be like his last episode.
That's the mic drop. I'm going to try to rip apart Angus. I don't know. I'm hoping the document that you and Tony have behind my back doesn't blow up in our face, in my face. No, I hate hearing this. Like, I hate hearing that people had a bad employment experience. I don't know. It's a bummer because I like the reviews that they put out, and you always hope for the best. It's like when you find out that one of your favorite musicians is just an utter piece of shit, and you're like, oh, that really hurts. Yeah. Like I still haven't watched Baby Driver yet because of Kevin Spacey. It's like, I really need to get over that. I heard Baby Driver's awesome.
That's a bummer. I saw that before that came out.
But I'm gonna watch Baby Driver. I know I'm gonna love that movie. The people that recommended it to me are always right about my tastes. So I need to get over that. There's so many musicians politically I disagree with, but I can totally get past it.
Yeah.
Something about being a pedophile, though, I just can't shake that one for some reason. Quentin Reviews, go check that out. You can start with the Fallen Titan series, I'm brain farting. The other one that you recommended,
Ouija board movie.
The Ouija board movie. Thank you.
He also reviewed Grave Encounters 2. I'm like halfway through that review.
God, Ouija board scared the shit out of me as a kid.
Yeah.
I bought into all that garbage.
Yeah.
All right.
I think you'll love the very first joke in that video, that Ouija board video. I think you'll love it.
Okay. I will definitely watch it. Cool. Well, Dustin, what have you been playing, man?
So I went back and I watched the entire John Learned Symphony of the Night annotated series, all 20 episodes. And it was even better the second time, and I had to play Symphony of the Night.
Uh-oh. It's our chat. Are we live? YouTube says that we're live, but the preview video says this video is unavailable. So I have no idea if we're broadcasting or not right now. I don't know, chat, let us know. If not, the archive's recording, so I can upload it later. Okay, so sorry. So John learned. You went through, you watched the whole annotated series again.
Yeah, okay, I see us.
You see us? Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I had that happen earlier. A totally different channel. Yeah, I just hit refresh and it worked. Totally different channel, different computer. That was on a Chromebook. I had this happen.
Huh.
So I wonder if there's like a bug going on with YouTube right now. And different accounts, because this is the Classic Elite account versus my personal account I was watching on.
Yeah.
So there's something going on. Maybe it's my router. I don't know. Okay, but you got through episode 1 through 20 of John Learned.
Yes. And I was like, you know what? I'm playing Symphony of the Night. Awesome. So I loaded up the OG PlayStation version on my PSP.
Nice.
I was sitting in my recliner. I had stuff to do Sunday, and I didn't do any of it. I didn't do any of it. I played Symphony of the Night for like 3 hours straight.
Hell yeah. You got to be close to First Castle done at 3 hours.
Oh yeah, I'm like filling out the second castle now.
Really, or the upside down, or whatever however it works. That's rad, man. So do you consider the first run? Have you beaten the game and you're in like a new game plus, or are you only more than halfway through the game? I've never understood.
So
if there's
the first castle is like a halfway point,
like truly a halfway point. There's no credits or anything.
Right.
Okay.
If you do it correctly.
Oh.
But I luckily already had a clear save. Like I beat the game 200.6 and saved it, so I could start over. And if you play the game with a clear save on your memory card, then you get additional items.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I actually did kind of I changed it up a little bit, how I usually do. And I tried to unlock and uncover as little of the first castle as I could, trying to get to the second castle. It was kind of like I'm trying to get to a sword called the Chrysagrum. Okay. That's like the all sword. Like all you have to do is like walk forward and push the win button after you equip this sword, because it cuts things so quickly.
Is that the one that you get when you're a la carte or whatever? Like, or is it even more advanced than that?
Oh, it's even more advanced than that. Okay.
Because you're one-shotting those big beasts in the intro to the game.
Yeah. Yeah, you do get that one back, but this is a different one dropped by kind of an obscure enemy in the inverted library.
Okay.
So I was going through, and I actually ran into a bit of a challenge, because I usually take my time and kill a bunch of enemies and level up. And I got to the Minotaur werewolf fight in the original, like the normal Colosseum, and I almost died. Like I almost died a couple of times. Luckily, I had enough healing items, and I know how to do the Soul Steal spell. And so, but I got through all that, and I got to the Chrysagrum. I got the drop, I think, 2 hours and 14 minutes in. And after that, I basically won. Because I got the drop, and I went, as we all know, that if you go up the outer wall and into the room above Frankenstein's creature, then you get the Paranthropus skeletons, and if you kill enough of those with a clear save on your memory card, you can get a ring of something. It's like the one ring to rule them all. It literally says like a golden ring to rule them all in the description of the item.
I don't even know why. I don't know why you wasted your breath on that explanation. That's more common than the Contra code to know that.
Right. But I grounded some Paranthropus skeletons, and I got 2 of those rings, and they stack. Vardis. That's it. The ring of Vardis. They stack. So I was hitting for 149 points per slice, and every time you hit the button, you do 4 slices per hit. So it was like 600 damage per hit. Like sub 1 second boss fights.
That's great.
Yeah.
So just to get that powerful is like that's the carrot on the stick that you need.
Yeah. Symphony of the Night may be why I love breaking video games as much as I do. And it felt great because I had so much of the original castle that I still hadn't finished yet. Like I had bosses in the first castle I hadn't fought yet.
Oh, so you could just walk up to him and
just basically just swat them out of the air.
What's your favorite boss in Symphony of the Night?
Ooh.
Or who's your favorite boss to use that weapon on? Like, who do you hate?
Any of the like humanoid small enemies, like Medusa or Karasamon.
Okay.
Because, like, it's literally like they do like their first animation, and the music starts going like dun 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 dun, dun and it's just like da 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 boom, and they're dead.
That's so satisfying.
Yeah, it's great.
That's cool.
But the cooler ones are like Granfaloon and Beelzebub.
You know, it's weird for you to say that Symphony of the Night is instrumental in getting you to enjoy breaking games, because that is a major thing that you enjoy doing, especially with modern games, but even going back to like Zelda 2 and stuff, that you enjoy that. You don't talk about Castlevania Symphony of the Night that much. You know, considering how, hearing you say that, how influential it's been in the way you enjoy games.
Yeah.
It's always, you know, the core three and Rondo and a little bit more of the obscure side of things. I don't know. I guess I never associated you to have that much affinity towards Symphony of the Night.
Oh, I love it. It's one of my bucket list games. One of my favorite all-time ever games. I've had, on several occasions, I've had dreams about that game, and I had to wake up and play the game.
Really?
Yeah.
I gotta say, it just feels good. It holds, the feel of it holds up incredibly well.
Mm-hmm.
You've gotten me used to the original, you know, clunkier games, but that one just feels really good. And the needless pixels that fall behind Alucard as your look amazing still, even though it's silly to have.
And that was kind of referenced in the cartoon, the Castlevania Netflix series.
Was it?
Yeah, when he was teleporting around fighting Trevor, he had like little after images behind him.
I can't wait for more of those.
Yeah, it's gonna be soon.
And thank God there's only 4 of them, so you can you can just start from the beginning and re-binge.
Yeah,
and just like go to it.
Hey, I want to. Yeah. Okay, minor spoiler for, let's say, the next 30 seconds. I just want to say something real quick. Okay. It's for the Castlevania Netflix series. If you hadn't seen it, go see it. There's no excuse. Go see it. So, the priest guy in the church.
Yep.
I bet you anything he's going to be Shaft.
Okay.
That's just my prediction.
I don't know Shaft. Like for me, Shaft is a 70s sick or 70s cop who the ladies like.
Yes, right. He's one bad mother. Shut your mouth. He is the guy in the purple robe that you fight that summons all of the original Castlevania bosses.
And is that in Symphony of the Night?
That is in Rondo of Blood.
Okay.
Do you remember him?
Yeah. They don't all summon at once. You get like 2 or 3 at a time, and it's like in the hallway section before you go fight Dracula.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's where I'm stuck.
Yeah.
Is that dickhead coming back and?
Yeah, that's his ghost.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good theory.
I think it is.
You don't know how happy I would be if you're right about that. To know Castlevania that well that you can make serious predictions based on the lore you know from the games is really cool. Rondo holds up still so well. That's the best one. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I like it more than I like 1, 2, 3, and 4 a lot, but you totally convinced me. I love the soundtrack. I love that we'll get to comments here in a bit, but you have more air control. You actually have some air control in Rondo, which I really, really like a lot. I like that in Castlevania Rebirth a bunch. That's what we'll talk about. Dumbass commented about Castlevania Rebirth having old physics or whatever in it if you want. That guy was I hate that part of the game. It's too hard for me.
Yeah. He's the guy who resurrects Dracula in both Rondo and Symphony of the Night.
Okay. Yes, then he's the dude that takes everything, the blue guy that like floats down in Symphony of the Night.
That's actually Death.
Oh, that's actual Death. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shows how much I have been through those games. So yeah, I guess any other thoughts on Castlevania Symphony of the Night?
It feels like a awesome weekend playing that game.
There you go. If you have no plans and you want to have a good weekend.
Like, I was playing through it and I was thinking about there are parts in it that they're not necessarily all that fun. They're just going through and mapping out, like filling out the map. And I couldn't wait. Like, I knew it was like that part of the game was arguably poorly designed, but I'm just like, I can't wait. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, sometimes that's okay. The lumps and bruises are what make it special. Hey, we got Jim Kickass Gamer. Good to see you again, man. Thanks for coming back. All right. Well, I've already talked about New Orleans being a cool place. I will definitely go back. I would highly recommend going there. Dustin, I figured out where all the dickheads are on Rocket League.
Okay, good.
They're in two
we
versus.
Were worried.
They're in 2 versus 2 competitive versus 3-on-3. 2-on-2 is a much. I prefer that way to play the game way more. Mm-hmm. It feels like it's like 9-ball versus 8-ball in pool, where 8-ball.
Okay.
It's just kind of like for the shitty players, it's like the regular bar rules. 9 balls for like the players.
Yeah.
That feels kind of like this to me, but also guys that strictly play 9-ball are usually assholes and they want to bet money and they care too much.
Yeah.
That's how 2v2 is feeling. Also, people in Rocket League don't understand the basics of passing in hockey, and it drives me absolutely insane. Get the ball over the middle in front of the goal, please. Please. Everybody in Rocket League thinks they need to make a shot from everywhere. It's like, no, you have teammates. Get the ball over the middle, and someone will clean it up and throw it into the goal. That's how you win.
Amateurs.
I've had so many people that gave up because they didn't have a shot, but don't anticipate that their teammate is right there hoping that you're going to throw it over the center so that I will clean it up. Or there's plenty of times where I'm throwing it over the center and I'm like, where the hell are you? They follow me like behind it. I'm trying to pass it to the middle and then I get rammed. I'm like, why aren't you in the middle waiting for a pass? I'm clearly going to, thank God on my Switch I don't have a keyboard, right? Because then I would be one of the dickheads I'm complaining about. Drives me nuts when people don't understand basic sports. It's not hard. Just because you play video games is not an excuse for not understanding basic sports logic. But Rocket League is still super fun. I can't believe I'm still playing that game, considering I hated it the first time I played it. And also, we got sent a code today for Ease. Ease Origin came out today on Xbox One and PS4.
Cool.
I believe it's a port of the PC version of the game that came out in Japan in 2006.
Okay.
And it is a prequel to Ease, the first eight books or whatever. And it takes place 700 years before the first book. And I had an Xbox Air. I played just the intro, and I couldn't get an Air save, or I couldn't save because of an Air. So I had to reboot my Xbox. So I've got to go back and try to resave. Luckily, they gave an error code, so I googled the error code, and it told me right away, hey, this is a system problem. It's not like it was a bug in the game that wouldn't let me save. It was a Xbox problem.
Okay.
So hopefully it will be fixed when I go back to replay it. Man, that game has a really strong first impression. I'm very, very excited to go through and continue to play it. It has high reviews anywhere you look, from people that have played the Japanese version.
Does it have a gradual difficulty?
I don't know. I don't know. Before I start the game, there's easy, normal, hard, and difficult settings, but
Okay.
I don't know what the curve is going to be like.
Did he give you a tutorial?
Slightly, yes.
Okay.
That's about where I got through before I tried to save.
So they're definitely trying to ease you into it.
All right. I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were.
that was like a 5-minute setup.
I didn't realize you were dadding it up. My bad. Well done, sir. Yes, I was eased into it, and I picked the girl Unica because she was her description was she wielded like a big axe, and then the other person, I forget his name, was like a magic range person.
Huh.
So I decided to go with the close combat.
Yeah.
And right out of the gate, man, it's really fun combat.
Cool.
I'm impressed. I'm excited to get into Ease. I've wanted to for a long time. Made me think of our buddy Hugh over at the Retro League.
Yeah.
And Ease 8 looked amazing as well. I saw some really cool reviews of it. I thought the combat looked really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm way more. The character's way more mobile than I was expecting. I thought it would be more like Secret of Mana.
Yeah.
But it's, man, it's almost God of War a little bit.
Cool.
It's closer to that than it is Secret of Mana. So you're able to like jump and charge up and do power attacks, like overhead attacks, and it was way more fluid than I was expecting. So I'm excited to continue on. Right out of the gate, there was an environmental puzzle that I needed to use a spin attack to jump over a large gap. But they don't. But they don't tell you that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
You just have to put on your this is a video game hat. How would a video game want me to solve this?
Yeah.
It just taught me about the spin attack, so maybe I should jump. And it was. We'll see. I'm excited to get into like just a Japanese ass game that doesn't have menu based combat.
Yeah.
You know, I talked to an old tree and there's goddesses missing and like just ridiculous stuff with really cool music. I'm excited. So thank you very much to .emu for sending that over, Jessica over there. I appreciate it. I was just kind of out of the blue.
That's all right.
We got a code this morning, and I emailed Tony. I'm like, "Hey, are you expecting an Ease code?" He said, "No." I'm like, "Well, then I'm going to install it on my Xbox and play it and talk about it on the podcast." That's very cool. So thank you very much to them for doing that. Yeah, they did like a good port so far. But .emu, they were the ones that brought back Windjammers. I think that they also did Wonder Boy.
Okay.
So they've got a lot of cool stuff under their belt. And this game, Ease Origin on Xbox right now is $20 at the launch.
Cool.
That's the full price. So it's either going to be $20 or less. So I don't know. Keep an eye out. I will keep playing it and talking about it on the podcast. And so far, I'm impressed. And that's it for what I've been playing this week. So we have a lot of listener feedback to get to.
Yeah, we do.
So we've got a email from our good buddy Kevin, our Canadian correspondent. We got a great comment from Zarek on the last episode, and also we're 2 episodes behind on Dumez's comments. So, Dustin, where would you like to start? I think we should each do one Dumez episode each, and you get Kevin, and I'll take Zarek, or vice versa.
Okay, I'll do Kevin.
Okay,
I got it up. Kevin says,
podcasts are starting to advertise erectile dysfunction.
"Oh no!"
So the words that just came out of your mouth sounded like an ad for. Hey, that's good target marketing.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I got Kevin. Wait, how'd you say that?
I got it up.
Yeah, there was two like innuendos you had in there on accident. They were good, I promise.
Speaking of having it up, Viagra.
But yeah, there's Giant Bomb. One of them had erectile dysfunction stuff, which my buddy, I was just joking with him about it. He's like, yeah, they should be advertising like balding and ED stuff on gaming podcasts. Like that's really good marketing, actually. Yeah. That's really good targeted marketing. I've also never bought anything that was advertised on a podcast that I've hated. I've tried a couple things that have been advertised on podcasts and have not been disappointed.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's
like a nice niche. Yeah. I sleep on an internet mattress and it's been great.
What company did that?
I went with the evil one, Casper. They got some bad press recently.
Oh, okay.
But I bought a Casper like 2 years ago. It was $800 for a queen, so I'm like, if I can get 3 or 4 years out of this,
yeah,
then I can just spend another $800 and get another one. Whereas I realize if you spend like $3,000 on a mattress, you're gonna hold on to that damn thing for 20 years.
Right. Yeah.
But if you're only spending $800 every 5 years, like that feels more palatable to me. It feels more disposable. But after 2 years, I really like it. I'm not gonna go back to not a mattress delivery service if I can help it. I should get a mini fridge the same day, and my UPS guy will be like, what the hell is this guy doing? Because the boxes are the same size. I forget how we got on that subject.
I got it up.
That's right, you got it up. So Kevin writes in, he says,
hello, fam. You guys speaking about Weird Al made me very happy, as Weird was the first CD I ever purchased with my own money. Bad Hair Day. He appeared in my Simpsons Tapped Out game, and I grabbed a screenshot and tweeted it to him. He then tweeted the picture, my picture, and then he has a couple pics. It did happen.
I remember him doing that, actually.
Yeah,
I remember this, which is very cool. Yeah, Kevin interacting with Weird Al on Twitter. It was really cool.
Man, social media can be awesome.
Can be the most amazing thing in the world.
Yeah.
Mostly it's terrible.
It's like 99.9% terrible.
But the good is so good.
Yeah.
And it keeps me around.
He goes on to say, I don't remember if I ever mentioned this, as I have the memory of a wild turkey in July, but this is one of my proudest moments. Weird Al has a photo saved on his phone from me. Anyways, I purchased Day of the Tentacle for the Vita PS4 because it was cheap, and I heard it came with Maniac Mansion. It does. So get that instead of the one on Steam. I was going to get you guys that, then I realized I'm a cheap bastard. So yeah, I don't like either games, although I can see the charm. I'm just not that into point-and-click adventure games without a keyboard and mouse. It's slow-paced.
I can understand that.
Yeah. Oh man, play the NES version. Oh yeah. But seriously, just start it for Kevin.
That's his name.
I know. Right. Who the star of Maniac Mansion, the lead guy, his music is amazing.
Oh, I don't know.
David?
Like a David Wise or someone?
I don't remember. Anyway, speaking of VR, I really want to try VR. It's the same feeling I have of trying to figure out how the 3DS worked back in the day. I just wanted to see how the 3DS looked, and there was no kiosks or anything, so I just imagined what it would look like. If you guys ever want to experience a truly awesome VR experience, check out Ghostbuster The Void Dimension. This was the greatest thing that I have ever experienced. It was 15 minutes long and cost $30, and I'd happily pay $100 for an additional 15 minutes.
Wow.
You and your friends dress up Ready Player One style and bust some ghosts. You walk around with a headset, and the room is scaled to what you see. If you see a couch in the VR headset, there's a couch in real life. The vest vibrate and change temperature. If a ghost is behind you, you'll be cold. That's cool.
That's right.
And cool. The best part is, spoilers, when you fight Stay Puffed, and if you beat him, you'll smell burning marshmallows. That's awesome.
That's amazing.
It was honestly the best experience I've ever had. I would have paid more to see the footage of me in an empty room.
Luckily, his daughter will never listen to this.
Also, Metroid on the 3DS is great. I'm using the same 3DS from 10 years ago, and the battery is dying, but I'm willing to sit attached to a wall to play it. If you don't have it, I really recommend it. That's something I forgot to mention. When I picked up my PSP, I still had I turned it on, and it was still the battery was still fresh enough to have that Rondo of Blood save that I was talking about like 2 months ago.
Wow.
When I played through the game and had like 8 lives and was going to try that final level, it was still up. Like I turned it on, it was ready. I was like, "Holy cow, man!"
Just straight sleep mode, just like that.
Yeah,
wow,
just popped right back up.
That's so
no
cool.
Load, no nothing. Yeah, I was super impressed. Okay, let's see. Kevin goes on to say, also on the last podcast, you mentioned that the Sega Genesis Collection is going to hit the PS4, and as you said it, it was like someone shot a gun near my ear. Everything went in slow motion, and all I heard was "ee." Another Genesis Collection. The freaking games are free on iOS and Android. The freaking games can't be nostalgic because you won't let it be nostalgic. I went to a Walmart the other day and saw a Sega Genesis flashback console. I got so enraged, I spit on the display case, nearly missing a saddened child, then cleaned it with my sleeve because I missed the mark. I have to buy this stupid collection again because I'm a fucking idiot. Question of the week. Week. What is a collection you're tired of seeing being released over and over again? Obviously, mine is anything to do with Sega, especially Sonic 3 and Knuckles, especially since Sonic 3 and Knuckles is never part of the collection. Stay Frosty or whatever. Kevin, typos left in for the lols, sent from iPhone.
You got anything off the top of the head?
Anything Atari.
Ooh. All right. I definitely vote with you on that. Yes, that's the correct answer. My second one was I'm tired of the very first Mario on NES being sold for $5.
Yeah.
Especially per console. If there's a Mario tax, if you pay $5 and you always get it no matter what Nintendo device you have, all right, that's acceptable. But that game at $5, that is frustrating.
Oh, you know what Nintendo
But I don't know
do?
if that really counts. Okay, yes, I'm into ideas.
Every system that releases from now on should come with the first Mario from every previous system. Like when you buy your Switch, it should come with Mario. It should come with the Super Mario World. It should come with Super Mario 64. It should come with Super Mario Sunshine. And it should come with Super Mario Galaxy.
Okay. I adore that idea. Let's be honest. What if they just did like Golf, original Iwata's Golf, and just Mario 1, the original, those two games as like homages to Iwata and Miyamoto, and I'd even be thrilled to have that. And there's like a menu Easter egg to get to them. In our Star Trek Gene Roddenberry future, every Mario does come with the new Nintendo.
Yeah,
I love that idea.
The Switch U would have like all those, and then Super Mario.
Oh my god, Switch U makes me shudder. The thought that they might do something like that.
What the hell's that called?
Which one?
Odyssey. Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, even if they have like like they don't go back to, you know, if there's a 2-generation gap.
Yeah.
Even that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And a no-brainer to buy a new Nintendo every time it comes out. Because you know Christmas is going to be amazing. It's already preloaded.
Mm-hmm.
So it just at least works. There's no update required. Man, I love that idea. I really do. And
is the 30th anniversary coming up, or has it passed already?
I think it's the 30th of what?
The first Super Mario? Would that be
I think that was like 85. 86 in the US, I think. Yeah, I think Mario already did that.
That was like 2 years. I know we got the 25th, which was laughable.
Yeah, I've got the 25th here. I'm going to look at see if I can see a date on this. So the 25th was in 2010.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
So the 35th is coming up.
Oof. That's why does that hurt so much? And this is a bullshit collection.
Oh yeah, it's garbage. I have it right here, unopened.
It's gorgeous, right?
Yeah,
Looks awesome. How do they not have Super Mario World on here? They didn't even port the right cart.
yeah. What a bummer. But it was back in the Wii. They didn't have to try. I bet you they try now.
I just set this down. I just am like, my cabinet's throwing up Mario. There's Super Mario Wii, Maker, and All-Stars there. And I'm sure there's more Mario up there. I keep all my physical games undisplayed. They're inconvenient. My cartridges are displayed, but not my discs. Yeah, Atari. That's the correct answer.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much, Kevin. He tagged us in a post from the Retronauts on Facebook for a split second, because the article he listed said, after the long-awaited, I thought he tagged us with a Paranerds relaunch. I was like, oh, damn. No, not the case. It was Retronauts. So, but yeah, shout out to our good buddy Kevin, good friend of ours from a long time ago, one of our dearest internet friends. All right, well, let's get to Zarek had a response from our last week's episode. This is episode Airbud number 269. He says, I laughed so much at last week's artwork. I got up in the middle, and I love that he's referencing another YouTuber on this. This is great. Yeah. One of our jokes. I laughed so hard at last week's artwork. I got up in the middle of laughing and went to use the restroom, where I continued to laugh, and then I decided I wanted some coffee, and I continued to chuckle as I prepared it. As the coffee was brewing, I decided to take my second shower of the day. Yes, I like to shower multiple times a day, and yes, I'm aware that's very cat-like. But the point is that I started to laugh more and more while I was in the shower. And then I remembered from Console Wars Earth Gym episode and realized I was doing the same thing as that episode. This, of course, made me start laughing over again as I brought my coffee back into the room to continue to watch the podcast. Very cool. I love that. Warmed my heart to hear that. Zarek says, I still remember the first game to really stump me. It was Wild Arms, believe it or not. That was the first game I got a video game guide for. I didn't buy it myself. My mother got it for me, but not because I asked her. In the game, there was a magic book that you got sucked into if you read it. The problem is that there was a poorly translated puzzle in it. Once you go into the book, you're stuck until you beat that area. He said, I had dozens of pages of ideas of how to beat the puzzle written in a notebook. The worst part was I wasn't really sure what the... sorry, I'm trying to use my mouse to highlight. He says, I wasn't really sure what the puzzle was, so I wasn't sure what solutions to try. So I came up with a large list of puzzles and then wrote out every possible solution. I would spend a few hours every day making or marking off everything that I tried. I showed my mother the notebook and asked her for an idea on what the puzzle could be and how to solve it. I could tell she was pretty surprised I put so much work into this. The next day she came home with a guide for the game. I think she got the guide because she was afraid that she would walk into my room and there would be hundreds of pieces of paper on the wall with red threads linking them together here and there. He says, even after reading the solution, the puzzle made zero sense. That's a bummer. That Wild Arms, that's a Super Nintendo game, right? With that
is a PlayStation 1 RPG.
What am I? Oh, I'm thinking of Wild Guns.
Yes.
Okay. At Wild Arms. Hey, Lazaro, good to see you again. What's up, man? We are doing good. We're doing good. Zarek, we're in the middle of reading your comment. So, yes, we loved the Console Wars reference. The fact that he was doing that on his own, I thought he was... I only skimmed the comment. I didn't realize that he actually was doing that and then reminded himself of the Console Wars episode. That I like that even more. I thought he was just making a reference, a super deep cut, but it was deeper than I thought. He said, I just listened to the PC Maniac Mansion music on stream. He says, it's trash. The NES was better. Dustin was right. What?
I said, all right.
He says, Dustin was right, even though he was joking. This might have been a weird sound card emulation engine problem or something. He said, I've heard much higher quality versions of the music before, but this port had terrible sound based on the stream trailer. He did say, I did indeed finish Monster Hunter World. I've just been playing well past the credits. So, very cool. Make sure to go check out Zarek's channel on YouTube. That's Xearrik. Space Kitty. Good dude. So, all right. Which episode from Dumbass do you want to read?
Let's see here. I can continue. We'll just continue the... What are we on? Airbud but Ghosts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. If you're going to do that, I'll go all the way. We'll go chronologically then.
Okay.
So 2 episodes ago, Demez says, back in the 90s, we needed big boobs in our video games and movies because we had no internet yet. That's a good point.
Yeah.
He says, I don't want to watch Twitch streams at all, but by a fluky coincidence, when I get up in the morning, that happens to be the time where Pete Dorr is streaming full time. Pete Dorr is streaming? He says, so I pop up and give him my Twitch money so far. That's the only part I catch streaming when the money comes up again. Also, did you know that we now have Amazon Prime Music? It's like Amazon Spotify. I did know that there was a feature of that. See, I like the idea that even though dumbasses like me, he doesn't watch Twitch, but notice that one of his people that he'd like to support is up there.
Mm-hmm.
So he's able to give that Twitch token to him.
Yeah.
It's $3.50 that you're giving to a creator. I love that idea. Dustin, he says he's gonna break some bad news for you. He's sorry.
Oh yeah, hit me.
There are non-ghosts. There is no supernatural, Dustin. There is no paranormal. Also, logically, because of the supernatural did exist, it would just be nature, even though it's hard to detect. Also, if paranormal was true, it would just be part of normal. He said, and ghosts are mind tricks and hallucinations. Glad you had fun at the haunted place. He said, I'm glad you had fun with the haunted place. I'd rather punch myself in the face than go to them places myself. Teach their own. You know, that's fair. Teach their own, right?
Teach their own.
He also says, seriously, dudes, TV recommendation. You gotta watch Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency on Netflix. He says, the right guy is the same author as Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Oh, it's Douglas Adams. It wasn't the guy that actually did the screenplay of the movie. So it's based on a Douglas Adams thing. It's kind of fantasy, sci-fi, comedy, Twilight Zone. I will definitely check that out. Yeah, it's weird. Douglas Adams has had stuff that's adapted a lot, but I can't get over how much Philip K. Dick stuff. Like, that dude, prolifically wrote, a bunch of little short stories, and they are all adapted now. And I like a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But wow, I mean... Scanner Darkly to Blade Runner and all that. What?
One of them spawned a great sequel.
Blade Runner 2049, Zarek. Did I tell you my parents watched that?
Yeah. Yeah. They enjoyed it?
No, unimpressed. They're like, so why'd you like that? I'm like, man.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And I wanted to be like, it just made me be like, you don't get it. You know what I mean? I'm like, it was gorgeous. I think part of the problem is they admitted that they were not in the mood to watch that long and slow of a movie. You got to be in the mood to...
Yeah, you got to kind of know what you're getting into.
Yeah, it's not like it's too heavy and intense or anything like that. It's just, it's a long movie, and there's a lot of shots that linger a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not, if you're tapping your toe, if you want to get something done...
Yeah,
it's going to be rough.
If you think it's going to be John Wick with androids, then
don't watch that movie.
Don't watch it.
Just skip to and watch the end fight scene.
But I would watch the hell out of Cyberpunk John Wick. Right?
Whoa! Sometimes you say things that just bend my reality, I guess. Holy shit, that would be great.
Yeah.
I would love him to say, yeah, this is John Wick's grandson. But it's just straight Keanu Reeves. Just they don't even mess around with it. Oh, I did see some teasers put out of Bill and Ted 3.
Yeah, I saw a picture.
Little bits on Twitter, so fingers crossed. I don't know if they announced a director yet. I kind of hope that Alex Winter directs it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Bill, right?
Oh.
He's Bill, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Cyberpunk 2077 may be at E3.
Ooh, that's
we may see something.
I still feel like that is coming out in 2077. You know, it's gonna be hard to wrap my mind around that actually existing.
That's just been the release date this whole time.
Yeah, that's that'd be great. So, Dumez, here's where he says Castlevania Rebirth. He says, "Did you know about the 2 control schemes? One which is classic, the other is where you can actually steer yourself mid-air a bit." Yes, and it by default uses the, I guess, modern or normal controls where you do have a little bit of air control. And the classic is the knockback, hardcore, real Castlevania stuff.
Manly Castlevania.
The manly Castlevania. I prefer, give me the training wheels. It's hard enough as it is. Zarek says your mind wasn't blown as much as the Contra crossover. You know, Zarek, that crossed my mind. I wanted to try to reference that in some way. It was close, but he's right. It's not quite as much.
I still go back and watch that video every once in a while.
The Zarek's edit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's the only time I've been memed, and it was a great one. Go out on top. He also says, now that WiiWare has been deleted from the internet, could we please have Konami Rebirth Collection for Switch, including all of them?
Oh, yes.
Double dip on that. Dude, Dumez, that is an idea.
Physical card. Put it in my hand.
Limited run. I'll go contact him. Like, I know that you're getting suggestions all the time, but I got the showstopper. That would be incredible. That really would be awesome.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
I did... I went back to Gradius, the original as well as the Rebirth, because I was like, I don't remember being this slow. Like but it is. It was that slow. I don't remember needing like 3 or so energy boosts to really get my plane up to speed where I want it. But it is that I just misremembered. I was complaining about it feeling slower, but that's not the case. I just remembered it wrong. It's It's a slow
weird
game. You gotta chew through those speed power ups early before you start getting into the other weapons. If you want to be quick, slow. Feeling slow like you're underwater in a shooter is rough. It's hard. Dumbass though, that's an A+ comment. He says Sea of Thieves does equal No Man's Sky. He says also. I had heard that Kraken part guys swarm underwater and the Kraken. There's no actual Kraken underwater. That it's just a tentacle that comes out of the water.
Yeah.
So that if you dive in the water, supposedly there's no body. It just. Oh. And I did see another thing on Reddit where you can put yourself or a pirate in a cannon and be shot.
Okay.
But if you zoom in on the nozzle of the cannon, all that they do is shrink the body down and keep the head big as like a trick. It reminded me of when Zarek told us about the trains as hats.
Yeah.
In Fallout 3. Yeah.
That's crazy.
But that Sea of Thieves water is no joke, man. It is the most delicious looking seawater of any video game ever. And then lastly, from that comment, Dumbass says, I can't believe you guys read my American Pickers comment. That was funny. Yep. Sometimes, Dumbass, you sneak some blue stuff past us, and we just got to roll with it. He says he always thinks of funny porno movie concepts, even though porno movies aren't made anymore. Yeah, there used to be a whole... Speaking of porno movies...
Okay.
So there's this bar in New Orleans called the R Bar. And it was down the street or around the corner from that Frenchman road I was talking about that had the bars and music that I liked. And we go in, and it seemed way more of a local bar. It seemed like we were probably the only tourists in there. And big screen, like projection TV above the bar is just like not a hardcore porn, but a porno movie from, it looked like modern, like more than Skinamax, but not like full on. So dumbass, there are pornos still out there. It was just strange to have that on a bar as we were drinking Jameson and PBR.
It's like Red Shoe Diaries or...
Yeah, that would be pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't like real sex, which was always disgusting, even as a 12-year-old. It was always... They always have like old people like in like a naked retreat camp or something, or like weird piercings and stuff. I'm like, oh no.
I stayed up till midnight for this.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Like, it was the worst. My favorite... there was one, it was called like Emmanuel or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And we were at a sleepover and Emmanuel was playing and we were all watching it, and they used horse sound effects whenever the guy was coming. So they would like be banging in a barn, and then they would kind of pan away a little bit, and then you hear like a horse neigh, right? And they're like, okay, that's silly. Later in the episode, she's giving him roadhead, and he starts neighing, like, in the car, like they threw the sound effect in, and we're all, like, dying laughing. So Emmanuel was, like, our big joke, man. Like, freshman year of high school. But just the fact that, like, they totally leaned into the silliness of it, where they're like, okay, we used the sound effect when they were in the barn, let's do it when they're in the car.
Just some sound guy working for Cinemax or Showtime. It was just like, let's see who's paying attention.
Right. He's like his first year out of college. Like, dude, no one's going to pay attention to this. Like, it's his first job.
He thought he was going to be doing sound for like The Matrix or something.
Oh, yeah. Like he'd been studying 2001. Right. And then he gets like lumped into this shit.
Do the sound for the sex scene. It's in a barn. I want it done by 7.
He's like, fuck, man. Horses are funny.
Goodness.
I love putting these like picturing like what it's like to do that kind of job, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. All right, well, Dumez, that's thank you for writing in on episode 268. So Dustin, what did Dumez have to say to us for episode 269?
All right, let's see here. He says, this is 269, right? I'm not screwing the picture. Yeah, okay. Growing up, me and my family were so atheist, I did not even know Easter was a religious holiday. Just a goofy one with rabbits, eggs, and tons of chocolate for kids. Not until I was an adult did I know it had anything to do with Jesus.
I thought the bunny was just Jesus's pet.
Right. Rubbing his head.
They knew Torchlight, the pet system. Jesus played Torchlight. That's what I'm getting at.
Growing up, we never had, like, Easter would come around, and like my grandma would give me like a tiny basket that had like some Hershey Kisses in it or something. Mm-hmm. But like Kim's family and her best friend, my buddy's wife, her family, like they get like a big basket of chocolate, like a toy. They buy them like Blu-ray movies. I'm like, man, I never got this crap when I was a kid. This is awesome.
Oh, I had, I was more like Kim. I would get a CD, candy, a toothbrush. And I was an adult, like, my mom still will do that kind of stuff. Yeah. She'll put, like, some cash in an egg and make you open it. And she'll be like, here's, Dietz's is a chocolate place around here that's, unreal chocolate. Whenever I hear someone in Australia or like Europe complain about American chocolate, it just makes me like want to send them this. I'm like, no, trust me. I know Hershey's is bullshit, but it does exist. The good stuff is here. But she'd get us like that kind of stuff. Yeah, I got Red Hot Chili Peppers one year, One Hot Minute. Cool. The only Chili Peppers album I actually kind of like. I don't like Chili Peppers very much. And TLC Crazy Sexy Cool I got.
All right. Is that Waterfalls?
That's got Waterfalls and Creep, and
Badass.
I love that album. That's a good 90s pop album.
Yeah.
So I was closer to Kim. I'm sorry that you got shafted, man.
Yeah, I did. But that's fine because I give Solly all the gifts I never got.
Yeah, see, live vicariously through him.
Yeah.
Should have grown up with crazy Catholics like us, and we take everything way too far. But we do let children drink in church, so whatever. Take the good with the bad, I suppose. My parents still are like, will you come to like Easter church with us? No. You won't get your basket. And I'm like, fine, keep the chocolate. So, okay.
Buy my own deets, Mom.
I will. And God, Deets, this is so good, dude. Like, it's one of those things where if someone comes through Findlay and they've never been here before, that's a stop. Like, you've
Cool.
got to try their chocolate and their ice cream.
That's awesome.
It's all, yeah. It's expensive, but it's unbelievably good. It's all.
Get what you pay for.
Yeah, they do it like all old ways. Like, it's all. It's not like Amish, but it's because they're not Amish, but it's like
Amish adjacent.
almost, yeah. Like, I don't know, the old way, the way Grandma used to do it. It's delicious. So, okay, sorry.
Dumbass goes on to say, check out Ninja Turtles on the NES. Right away, the music is copied from Queen. Stone Cold Crazy.
Huh.
Zokit? I don't know what he was going for there.
Zweck? I don't know. I'm not that much of a Queen. I don't hate Queen, but I don't know the catalog very much. I'm not that big of a fan.
Yeah.
So I'll have to look this up.
I know Bohemian Rhapsody and Killer Queen.
And Bicycle.
Oh, God, this song sucks.
It does, but I loved it.
And Under Pressure.
But that's with Bowie, though, isn't it?
It is.
So it's not. Yeah.
I guess it's not pure Queen.
It's not pure. Also, I'm not that big of a Bowie fan.
It's all right.
Yeah, right?
It's just kind of like, meh.
Speaking of Blade Runner 2049, that's who the director Denis Villeneuve wanted to have as the bad guy that Jared Leto played. But he was dead,
cool.
so he couldn't. But I think that would have been an awesome... Now, Jared Leto, I think, did fine. But I think...
He did.
David Bowie would have been incredible in that role. I just would have bought it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
Like, I look at Jared Leto, and I'm like, that's Jared Leto doing a good, like, bad guy that you can understand where he's coming from. But Bowie, I think I'd buy in lock, stock. Yep, that's the evil man. I don't even see David Bowie. Zarek says Queen did the Highlander song.
Oh, yeah.
I did not know that.
Oh, another one bites the dust.
We Are the Champions. How did we forget that one? Mighty Ducks.
Oh, my gosh.
There's a million Queen songs that I know.
Yeah.
I think part of my problem is Rolling Stone gave Brian May like top 5 guitarists of all time on their list, and to me it felt, this was in like 99 or something like that. To me it felt like a popular choice, not a proficient choice.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's true. Like, maybe they were totally right, but for some reason that pick really rubbed me the wrong way. Because there were people I thought were far better virtuosos at playing guitar. Not counting for writing songs or anything like that. I have to go back to that list that came out. No one plays guitar anymore, so I'm sure the list has not changed, unfortunately. They might, like, tack John Mayer in there somewhere, and that's it. Like, everyone does their shit on their music, or on their computer. Disappointing, man.
Is that what K-Mac means when he says he punched it in?
Wait, K-Mac on, you watch K-Mac?
Yeah.
The Scottish dude?
Yeah,
He's the best!
Yeah.
K-Mac 2021.
What was it? Teen Goes Gent?
Oh, God, yeah, Tinko's Gent. Oh, I did send that to you. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, now I remember. Sorry. No, I don't know if that's like a term. What did I say? Put it in or
Punch it in? Because he was talking about like he hates trying to play a part. It was during the I Would Walk 500 Miles cover.
okay. I don't know. No, it's not like a specific music term. It's not like that was a music thing.
Okay.
Punch It In just was like that feels more like an Ohio vernacular thing than like a music thing. He's the one that has me wanting to make prog rock jokes constantly. Because in one of his videos, he said, I'm so into prog, I listen to concept albums on shuffle. K-Mac 2021 he does music and memes is basically his channel. And yeah. What is it? Ting goes Gen or Gent goes Ting?
Yeah, that's when you sent me.
Yeah, Ting and Gent is that's a good starting point. And then enjoy the rest of the memes that he comes up with. Okay. Well, I guess let's get back to comments.
Yes, screw YouTube Red. Almost 0 countries still have it. I cannot buy it in Canada, and I'm desperate for it. Why the hell are they slacking so bad? Especially at least Canada, we are the 51st state anyway. And for Red, shows it as something like $3 per show. Screw that. I just want to remove the commercials, and my wallet is open, and they won't take my money. WTF.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah,
YouTube Red's amazing. YouTube Red is such a wonderful service because of the Google Play Music. What Google Play Music is shits on Spotify. It is a hidden gem. I'm telling you guys, it's awesome. And then the YouTube benefit is just ancillary from there. And no commercials on YouTube ever. And videos I watch, people get paid. It's perfect. But I was in the beta, so I used to only pay $8 a month and have full YouTube access and Google Play Music. Because Google Play Music lets you upload all of your music, like 25 gigs or something insane, to the cloud. So, for example, Tool, I love Tool, one of my favorite bands. You can't stream them on any services, but because it's in my personal Google account and Google knows what Tool is, that it seamlessly is in there. So any unlicensed music or music that Google doesn't have the license for, I can add to it. So Cubby's in there and like all the chiptune stuff. It's just, It seamlessly goes into whether I'm streaming it or whether it's part of my collection. It's really nice.
That's awesome.
And that's, I guess, if you're willing to pay for that kind of stuff. Okay, sorry.
Did not catch it, but if either of you plays PUBG on PC, we should play sometime. Me and my brothers play often and have a free slot.
I don't. If it ever goes free to play, I absolutely will. Or if you guys do Fortnite, I'll install Fortnite on my PC. Play with you.
Have y'all checked out Road Redemption yet on Steam? It is new Road Rash, basically, and it has a really cool progression system in it.
I think I have, based on a tip from him.
Road Rash was perfected back in the 90s. I don't need to blame him.
I think he mentioned this to us when it was really early access.
Yeah.
So
I remember him mentioning it before. Hey, Dustin, I heard about your Castlevania no death run. I say, Pshaw, you got to give us a getting hit run.
He did that to me with Contra. He's like, you use the spread gun, so it doesn't count. Or no, it was Mega Man. It was Mega Man. He's like, no, do Mega Man 2 with the pea shooter and then talk. I was like, okay.
Oh, man.
That's fair. Oh, which I figured out what was wrong with my Steam Link. I had my TV on HDMI 3 was not set to game mode. That's why I couldn't play Mega Man.
That'll do it.
That did it.
Dadgum.
I felt really dumb. Because I thought I had game mode on the TV.
Yeah.
Which I actually like the feature that you can set it per HDMI cable or HDMI input. Because on my Roku, I don't want game mode because I watch TV and stuff there. But yeah, my Xbox One, I had in game mode. And I did not somehow have that. But it's fixed, and I beat the Wily's Castle Stage 1, no problem. Just to like double check. Sweet. Well, what happened was I tried to play Super Mario World on the Wii or Wii U through the Wii channel, and it was laggy. And I'm like, this is weird. Wait a minute. Did it? And I thought to myself, did I turn off game mode somehow? Like, did I reset my TV or something? Then I learned I've got a feature on my TV that's really great that I was not taking advantage of.
That is cool, though.
Yeah, right? And like it looked like there was a setting for a universal. It looked like you could do it universal, but I'd prefer it not to be that way.
Man, granular settings.
Oh, the best.
If you can make that happen, your product will be 5,000 times better.
Absolutely. Like, give me your recommended defaults for the dum-dums out there that don't care.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Give me some of that sweet control.
Domez goes on to say, I have a major hot tip for Wii Virtual Console I just learned. If you set your console Wii to 480i in the settings, it will output the original 240p signal that the original console's output for best visual quality, even better on a CRT. This does not count on the Wii U. If you install Wii Virtual Console in Wii mode on a Wii U, it will not output the 240p no matter what.
I just learned that too from My Life in Gaming, I think. One of their recent videos. I transferred all my shit from my Wii to my Wii U. They were like, we would recommend not doing that. I'm like,
man, I transferred mine and sold it. Like, it is, somebody else owns that now.
Hopefully they are setting their stuff appropriately.
Yeah.
So is that it? Have we
got a few more.
Okay.
The problem with Milon's Secret Castle is the first 30 minutes or so is really good until you realize it is impossible to figure out what to do. Also, fun fact, I beat Goonies 2 with no guide. While I was sick with flu, I just grinded until I somehow managed to figure it all out. I bet no one else on Earth has done this. The game is the most. There are no clues what to do.
Bravo.
Yeah. He also says, hashtag, this is a pound symbol, not a hashtag.
Meta. I like jokes like that.
Yeah. Divik says, Xeric is still continuing with Monster. I think we might have read that one already.
Oh, I did not read that. I didn't realize that was from... And also, so Divik, shout out to... Thank you for commenting. And also, the Tony Kornheiser picture.
Zebvinko Reload?
Yes. They were first, so thank you. They get a thumbs up. And so, yeah, that's going to be it for the episode. Everybody, thank you very much for checking us out this week. Hopefully you didn't miss us too much while we were gone last week. Trust me, it was worth it. Oh, one other quick thing about New Orleans. My allergies are really bad in Ohio. Mm-hmm. I had no problems, even though stuff was growing down there.
All right.
So maybe I'll just have to move south of the Mason-Dixon sooner rather than later, Dustin.
Yeah.
I'll just come down to Tennessee and see how that is.
Mm-hmm.
And just keep moving down until the nose stops dripping.
Eventually you'll just end up in Florida.
Yeah. I'll just keep going. I like Florida, but it gets uncomfortable.
Vemper asks what optic I had on my M4. I had an Aimpoint M68.
Yeah, Vepper knows a lot about guns. I couldn't tell if he was... we'll have to definitely nerd... next time he's in chat early, we'll nerd out about guns early on.
Yeah.
Ask you some questions. One of my favorite YouTubers, Guns and Guitars, right after the YouTube updated their terms of service and really cracked down on the gun videos, like went out of his way to put up a tongue-in-cheek, almost like gun demo that's YouTube safe, which I thought was really fun. The guy makes his own guitars and does gun demos. It's like you and I put together a channel in our minds that wasn't video game related. It's just very funny, dude. Yeah, Vepper, if you've never heard of Guns and Guitars on YouTube, check him out. Yeah, the M4, that's just the regular standard issue, right? The regular.
It's your basic rifleman loadout.
So when it comes to like an optic on an M4 when you're in the military, do you have like 3 options that you can choose that are like fit you? Or is it totally customizable where guys were bringing like their own aftermarket? I'm picturing like a scope. Is that not what the optic is? What's the optic?
Yeah. You're right. It's basically a scope.
Okay.
So it depends on, it really depends on basically commander discretion. Depends on what unit you're in. For us, like when I first got to my unit, it was your 203, which is your grenade launcher underneath your M4.
Okay. If
you had that, then you had to have iron sights on your weapon because it had 2 you had the iron sight for your M4, which was the carrying handle, and you had a secondary iron sight attached to it that was for your 203. And then you had another on the
what's a 203? The grenade thing?
Yeah, the grenade launcher underneath. 40 mic mic. So you had an additional, like, your main sight on the Picatinny rails where normally your grip would be.
Okay.
So it would be up on top. So you had two sights for your 203 and then your iron sights for your M4.
Did you have to manually, like, swap those around, or was it just positioning your head? Like, did you have, like, two eyepieces to press against, or was there, like, some sort of a switch between, I don't know, using the gun versus the grenade launcher?
So
I'm trying to picture, like, how you described it.
You would have to get a different sight picture per sight.
Okay. So if you were in combat, like, would you have to, like, shoot the M4 or whatever and then duck behind something and do a manual flip around and then use a grenade?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because the front one, the front 203 sight basically just flipped up, and then you use the front sight post to kind of get an idea, because it had the distance on the sight. So like the 50 meter was at the very bottom, and then 100 meter, 150, 200, 250. So you would look through it, and then you would kind of go up to like the 250, depending on how far away you were. You kind of had to eyeball it.
That makes sense. It's really common for a lot of guys were using those hunting. They would take that scope out and put it in like a handheld thing for hunters, and golfers were using it. And then they eventually made it where they just made golf versions where it would just shoot at like a laser at a target and it would read back the exact yardage. But it's weird because that's kind of how when people are, God, what do you call that when you're setting up like an area when you're measuring, like when you see city workers measuring streetlights and stuff, surveying
Yes.
uses that same look through the eye and you see the gradient on there. Did you like the M4? I hear complaints about it.
I mean, it treated me well the whole time.
I mean, what was before that? They've used the M4 for a long time, haven't they?
Yeah, I think it went into service in 92.
Okay.
Officially. Before that, it was M16.
The M16, that's what I'm thinking of. That was the one that was unreliable that people complained about.
Yeah, apparently
like, that was in Vietnam and stuff.
M16s were like garbage.
Yeah, that's my understanding. I mean, I don't know any better, but watching Ken Burns documentaries and stuff like that, they're like, yeah, the M16 sucked. It was unreliable. It jammed a lot. It did not handle poor weather bad or poor conditions, so it would jam easy if you got dirt and mud in it, but you were crawling through dirt and mud, so good luck having that fire, that kind of stuff. So interesting. Well, there's a little bit of gun talk for you. Maybe I'll buy one someday and can catch up with you, Dustin.
I'll set you up. Let me know.
It's crazy to see all the carry conceal permits that are going up, and like in Ohio specifically, like they can't keep up with all the applications. It's crazy.
That's awesome. That's great.
It's crazy. I mean, well, you're starting to take people's guns away, and people are going to go buy them while they can, kind of thing. Even though they'll never get taken away, but you want to sell guns. That's let politicians mention them, and gun sales go through the roof in the country. Zarek says, you know how I know Vepper isn't here right now? Because you're talking about guns and he isn't typing anything. He's not here, or he's just enjoying it so much he can't type. Yeah, that's cool, man. The person that taught me how to shoot a gun is he's in our local Hall of Fame as a sports shooter, and he was a sniper in Vietnam.
Dude, that's awesome.
So he taught me, like, right away, I was able to shoot trap real well, because he's like, all right, I'm going to show you how to stand. I'm going to show you how to basic technique or whatnot. Unbelievable how well that helped. And a lot of times people will see me shoot and they're like, really? So you've really only done this a few times? It's like, I had a really, really good teacher. He showed me some really good, very cool. So, let's call it a show, man.
All right. Hey, before I forget, Zarek, you were gone. Go back to when Scott was talking about the games he played. I fit in a really good dad joke.
Yes, he did. Like, top shelf. We've clearly been gone for a week. And I bought a hook, line, and sinker. I didn't even see it coming. It was so nicely executed. I feel like I should have, like, after you said it, right before, I could sense it coming right at the very end. I'm like, I feel like an idiot. I totally just been feeding into his joke. I'm not part of the bit. I hate that feeling. Well, cool. That's going to be it for the show this week. Shout out to Jim Kickass Gamer, Ken Myers, good to see you. Lazaro, good to see you again. Vepper and Zarek. Thank you very much for everyone being in chat. Very cool having everybody here. Asking questions, commenting. It really makes the podcast a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I want to thank Ben Landis very much for letting us use this song Through the Forest. If you would like to join us in chat, our YouTube channel on Wednesday nights around 8:15 Eastern time, you go to youtube.com/classicleet and you will be able to see us live. And sometimes, in theory, Dustin shares the news stories, so you can follow the links along with us. Also, if you have any news stories you'd like us to talk about, feel free to join in and submit them to us. We have a lot of discussions that are really fun, based on topics I wasn't going to cover, but chat recommended it, kind of thing. That happens from time to time. So if you'd like to do that, go for it. Vepper says, how often do you clean your rifle?
How often did I clean my rifle? It depended on where I was and what I was doing. Like back in the rear, when you're just on base, you touch it like maybe once a month, just for like training stuff, going to range. But then you do stuff like if you went to Fort Polk, Louisiana for JRTC, that was like humidity, raining, so you touched it every day because otherwise it's going to start to rust. In Iraq, you would after every mission and before every mission, making sure that it was free of dust, not oiling it too much, but not having it dry, because like the dust would be, it wasn't sand. You didn't have sand like you'd see like the Sahara. It was like fine powdery, like talcum powder consistency.
Okay.
So
Weird.
it got into everything. Yeah, it sucks. Kuwait was the one that had, Kuwait has the real sand, like sweeping dunes, and you go outside, and if you ever want to know what it's like to be in Kuwait, go outside and have someone like hold a hairdryer right in front of your face at the highest setting, and then have some, like a buddy, hit you in the face with sand, handfuls of sand. Just, that's what Kuwait is like.
That doesn't sound fun.
Yeah, it is a bummer and a half. Like, it's, I don't know how we settled that part of the world. Like, what were those guys thinking?
I use gun oil for my guitar. It works really good on the bridge of my Stratocaster.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I know shotguns, about every 100 rounds, you should technically do some cleaning, but 200, you would definitely want to clean. But that's a shotgun. That's totally different.
Yeah. Now that I'm a civilian, I do it like, I don't know, once every time I shoot it, I usually break it down and clean out the carbon.
Do you do it blindfolded with Sully or Kim there with a stopwatch? See if you still got it.
No, I never got super fast at doing my M4. I did an M9 Beretta without looking in 13 seconds.
That's pretty good.
Like I had it fully assembled in my hand. I broke it down all the way, and then I put it back together, did a functions check. 13 seconds. I think it was 7 unblindfolded.
Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
It's like those kids stacking cups. You can't. How's that happening?
Yeah. But with firearms.
But with danger.
Yeah. I still say that the most dangerous thing in the world is not an angry soldier, but a bored soldier. A bored soldier is the most dangerous thing in the world.
Oh, yeah. So he was asking in field. So
In the field, it'd be once a day. You'd like wake up, do personal hygiene, you do weapons maintenance, and then you'd eat.
your chili mac
Yeah.
and your
It'd be like
what are those called?
MREs.
Yes, thank you. I like watching people eat MR. I've liked. I don't do it often, so I phrase it poorly. I have enjoyed videos of people trying MREs, and it always makes me think of like you're doing it wrong. My buddy Dustin says that you make chili mac, or you like add, like they weren't mixing and matching.
Yeah.
You were like, that's the key.
So you got to be able to get away with it, but yeah, you got to go through and pick and choose. But the platoon sergeant's going to be like whenever it's time, it was like, don't even look in the box. You reach your hand in, you grab an MRE, you pull it out, you walk away. You don't even look at it. The one you grab is the one you get.
Yeah, but can't you and your buddy can't you source that out? Like, all right, half and half.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you can. Okay. You can like trade, but they call it don't. Every once in a while, somebody be like, "Don't rat fuck the MREs." That's what they call it. Going through and picking and choosing.
Yeah. Zarek's got some good emojis in there. He said fire, wind, bad face, flap. And yeah, Vepper lives in Arizona, so he can relate to Kuwait probably.
Yeah, yeah.
So, all right, cool. Man. But again, thank you very much, Ben Landis, for letting us use your song Through the Forest for the our gun podcast. If you'd like to hear old episodes of the show, every episode is available at our website, classicelite.com. Our RSS feed is like the last 20 episodes, and you can find through Apple Music or Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, any or any regular podcast app. If you search for Classic L337, you will find us, so please subscribe. If you have an opportunity and you like the show to leave us a review, please do that. That helps us quite a bit. And also on social media, if you'd like to interact with us outside of YouTube, our handle is Classic L337 on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and SoundCloud. Again, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Vepper said that he ticked the notification box today, so we got a bell. Yeah. That's a big win. That feels like getting a Patreon,
right?
Or a patron, on Patreon. Like, wow, someone clicked notifications for us. That feels good. And also, we have some Amazon affiliate links. Like I said, amazon.com/shop/classicleet. And we have a storefront there, and if you go to Amazon through there and buy something, you will help us with a small commission. And that's going to be it for the show this week. Enjoy this little sample of Cubby's Sleet. And that's going to be it. So, everyone, thank you very much for listening to episode 270 of the Classic Elite podcast. And we'll see you next week for episode 271.
Boosh.
All right. Hey, thanks, everybody. You guys really helped give us a longer show. I thought we'd be done in about an hour with our...
right.
With our show notes, they were really small this week, so definitely very cool. We had only a page and a half, and one of those pages is filled up with spaces and stuff that's always there. So to help put that in context, so cool. Oh, Weber must have been in the military as well. He says it's all about the mixing.
Yeah.
So Weber, we'll have to bend your ear next week. If you make it our next time, you're able to join us and chat. About military stuff. I like hearing about it. So, well, cool. Zarek, have a good night, dude. Good to see you again. And yeah, shout out to everybody else. Ken and Jim, good to see you guys. And Lazaro. Everyone have a good night. I'm going to shut the stream down and we'll see you next week. Oh, shit, we forgot to, put up a thing. Forgot to announce we're going to play A Way Out again. So if anybody wants to hang out with us Friday night, if you're not doing anything, we're going to try to finish the game A Way Out. So, yeah, we'll see you then. Good night, everybody.